Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by one of the finalists of the Kulwicki Driver Development Program for 2023. That, of course, is Jackson Boone. He's back.
What
Uh,
up? What up?
hello, Jackson. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, what were you doing when you found out that you're going to be doing this thing again?
Oh man, what was I doing? Let's see here. I was actually in the middle of work. That's so boring. But yeah, I was like working on a car. I detail cars for a living, so I was doing something random on a car, and I set a little alarm for noon when it was supposed to all come out. And I checked my phone and looked at the little article, and sure enough, my name was on there. So it was cool.
Yeah. So, what's it like to be part of the program again? And what did you learn from year one?
Man, I said this on the boring the other day, but it's really like surreal. Just kind of, it's really cool to make it even 1 year, but to make it like 2 years in a row is very very difficult. And obviously before this, we're talking about the votes and all that, and how hard of a process that is for the board to do. So like, it's a really big honor to be considered 2 years in a row, and then also put on the kind of the plate of the seven finalists that make it every year, because it's such a difficult deal to be a part of.
Yeah. So, like, I think we all know this, but how did you get started into racing?
Man, we had some family friends that basically raced quarter midgets out in Hermitage, Tennessee. And my dad knew nothing about racing. My dad was a big baseball guy, sports guy. He could play any sport, and he pretty much had me on a path to play baseball my whole life, baseball or basketball. And I ended up hating baseball when I was like 5. And I remember he took me out to the quarter midget track one year, just like took me out there on a random Saturday, and I fell absolutely in love with it. And I begged him for a race car for probably 3 or 4 years, and he finally bought me one at the age of 8. And that was how I got started. The rest is history.
Yeah. So just kind of talk about like let's talk about what your plans are for the 2023 season. What are you doing?
So kind of similar to last year. We're gonna try to put a little twist on it. We're running most of the fairgrounds races this year with the pro car, and then we'll probably travel with the pro a little bit. But definitely going to try to step up in the super. And we want to be a predominant force in the super. So it's going to take a lot of work, because you got a lot of guys that are really hot right now, like Pollard, Nassie, Robbins, the same old names that you hear in the Southeast. But we're going to try to run a lot better this year, and run more super races, but also run, the snowball derby at the end of the year, and hopefully hit some marquee events. We talked about like Winchester or Slinger, or maybe Madison. It really just depends on kind of how, our summer goes with the super, as long as we don't mess anything up majorly or have any significant breaks or anything. I would hope we'll run a few of the marquee events at the end of the year. But I'm excited because we're going to hit some new tracks this year with the Super, so it should be a really good time.
Yeah. So just going through this year, like you know, what do you got planned off track? Like all the stuff that, there's a lot of things that a lot of people like to do, the off track stuff. You know where I'm going with this. What is your plan there?
So just are you talking about, like, I guess
Yes.
my
Yes.
community work?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So, my girlfriend Della, she works for a place called Youth Villages, and her full time job is working with a lot of foster kids. And actually, I wanted to kind of incorporate that in our racing this year as part of my charity work, to hopefully get some of those kids out to the races, but somehow link our racing to kind of benefiting that association. Obviously, it's a nonprofit, so if we can use that as a slot to kind of fill our charity work, I feel like that would be really fun, because I love working with younger kids, and they're the future of our society. So obviously that's a cheesy way of putting it, but it's cool to get them involved in racing, and seeing a kid see a race car for the first time is really cool. So I think we have a really good opportunity to hopefully expose some kids to racing this year. And then also we're going to stay with the Box 55 Association. And we'll probably try to help them out a little bit more this year than we did last. Just raising money for those guys and all the first responders here in Tennessee. But I'm excited, man, because I feel like I'll be able to fill up my season this year with charity work, because we've got a lot of really good opportunities at hand.
Yeah. And also, you talk about like the sponsors that you currently have on your car too.
Yeah, man. So Red Street Records, Jay DeMarcus from Rascal Flats. We talked about him last year on this podcast, and man, him and Danny, the owners of the company, they're both my sponsors. They're absolutely fantastic people. I love them to death, man. They're so good to me. And we've got Roy Meat Service, D&D events, Liberty Squared Lofts. They sponsored us a little bit last year. Wear Energy, they're going to be back. We may have a couple other guys that are looking to get involved with our racing. So hopefully a couple more here soon. But we'll see. It's been really, really awesome. I've got some awesome sponsors. And everyone involved has been very, very involved. It's not people just like signing a check for us and, saying, okay, good luck. They've all been very, very vocal with my racing and just super supportive. I mean, the whole way through.
What does it mean to be finalist again?
Man, means so much. Seriously, without like, I guess, sounding sappy, it's really an honor. I mean, seriously, I cannot thank the board of directors and all the Kulwickiites enough for putting on this program. I was thinking about that the other day. It's such a selfless deal because people like TR and everyone for that matter involved, they don't have to do this. I mean, this is out of their way to put on a program and help kids like this. So, it's an honor that they even do this and consider kids every year for this program. But, to have my name in the pot is, it's an honor. It's an honor, man. It's crazy to think that Alan Kulwicki's friends are all, choosing me to be a part of their, I guess, race team, sort of say. So, that's absolutely crazy.
All right. Well, Jackson, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. And the best of luck this weekend at the fairgrounds.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on here.